Maybe you're a woman in your 40s, in your 50s, maybe even your late 30s. All of a sudden, you feel like your mood is off, you're anxious, you're easy to cry, mood is just all over the place. Yeah, maybe you're stressed, but you're not bouncing back like you used to. If this sounds familiar, you are not alone, and no, you are not broken. But you may be suffering from the emotional shifts that come along with perimenopause and menopause. And unfortunately, those shifts are often just mistaken or labeled as depression. So let's dive in about what we can actually do about this, other than just an antidepressant. My name is Dr. Jessica, and I'm a naturopathic doctor, and I help people with their healing from a mind, body, and spiritual approach. So I've seen this way too often that women, maybe in their 40s and their 50s, maybe going through perimenopause, go to their doctor because they know that something is off. They're having more emotional shifts in their life. They're maybe feeling really low in their mood, or maybe they're crying at the drop of the hat. Or a lot of times the women I work with, all of a sudden they're crying because of something that happened in a work meeting, which is usually not their MO. And when they go to the doctor, their solution is to just hand them an antidepressant. Now, I'm not bashing antidepressants. I also prescribe them when I feel like they're necessary, or I feel like when it lines up with the patient's values as well. But handing out SSRIs or SNRIs just for the emotional changes that happen with perimenopause and menopause as a blanket thing has to stop. We got to talk about this. There are not only the hormonal changes that are happening, there's also the emotional changes that come along with it. There's also usually some sort of shift in your life because you're also entering a different phase of life. And we do not talk about this. We just label it as depression and move on and dust our hands off. So we know that in perimenopause and menopause, of course, our hormones are changing. And sometimes that drop in estrogen or that drop in progesterone can cause our mood to change. Progesterone is often what we think of like the calming hormone, where it helps with our sleep, it helps us be more resilient to stress, helps us kind of bounce back, keeps us calm. Estrogen as well, we know, helps to regulate some neurotransmitters as well. So, things like your serotonin or your dopamine. So when those start to fluctuate, especially during perimenopause, when the fluctuations can be pretty intense, of course, this can also affect our mood. When this happens, patients can often wear thin. You can be really irritable, or you could just get really emotional and really low mood as well. And this isn't just about getting old. Like, there's a physiological transition happening, and we do need to understand that and honor that and respect that. We also need to understand that during this time, like, maybe sleep is off as well. And I don't know about you, but when I don't sleep, I'm an absolute nightmare. So that can also play into that. So it's more than just these hormonal changes that are happening. It's also causing other effects, because remember, we're not just our reproductive system, or we're not just, our gut health. All of these systems play in together. And so when one is affected, it causes a domino effect. So my goal here is to help educate you that, antidepressants aren't the only solution. And again, I'm not demonizing them. They're a part of my practice and things that I use as well. But I also want to empower you to know that there are other options available as well. This is where it's important to talk about having maybe some hormonal therapy, so like a HRT or MRT, or just some support. These are all options, and they're valid options, and make sure that you're advocating for yourself and educating yourself so that you can have that conversation with your provider. Because if you feel like it's something that is appropriate for you or something that you need, I always want you to have that option available. Again, if it's appropriate for you. And also, don't forget, medication is not the end all be all. For some people, they don't want to go that route, or they can't go that route because maybe they have a contraindication from some previous health history. But there's also, herbal support as well. There's different Chinese herbs. There are different regular Western herbs. There's all types of options that are available to help support. Again, we're not fixing anything because, women go through menopause. As of now, there is no cure for this decline in hormones. So it's something that we're all going to go through eventually as women, but you don't have to be miserable, or you don't have to just have it labeled as depression and just get an SSRI. Of course, nutrition can play a role as well. Things like eating well to balance your blood sugar, reducing inflammation are also all going to be helpful. And of course, exercising, making sure that you're strength training, making sure that we're building that lean muscle mass or holding on to our lean muscle mass as we continue to age. Even the exercise is going to help with mood as well. It's a great regulator for our mood. So again, my goal is always to empower you. So when you talk with your doctor, I want you to feel empowered to ask the right questions. Ask about the hormonal therapy. Ask about the pros and cons. Have a discussion about it. Ask if it's right for you. Ask if it may help your mood. But also don't forget, there are other options out there as well. And just making sure that you're working with someone who knows how to support you through this. If you feel like you need some additional guidance, you can always work with me. You can click on the link down below to learn how to work one-on-one with me if you need a little bit of extra support and guidance. I hope that you found this video helpful. If you have any questions, as always, leave them down below. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video. Bye.